Hello, my friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to another Daylight vlog or podcast. Hope you're all safe and sound. Today's topic will be Lenovo's What is Linux? If you go to Lenovo's website and just search What is Linux, they've done a pretty good job explaining in layman's terms what is Linux. So I thought it's a very well-designed web page, and we'll be taking a look at that here in a minute or two. So welcome back to the channel. This is Total OS Today, total technology for beginners and beyond. And I think Lenovo has done a good job in bringing Linux to the beginner masses out there. Background music is from our friend Stephanie Forian. You can check out her songs, music at stephanieforian.com. That's F-O-R-R-Y-A-N. All right, so let's give this a minute or two, see if anybody pops in the chat here. So I'm trying to do as much of these shows during the day as much as possible, or at least some of these podcasts daylight as much as possible, to give our community friends overseas a chance to come in the chat and say hello, ask a question, who don't normally have a say. So I don't have a schedule. Maybe I can work something out here on the weekends. You know, with this pandemic, I really don't go out as much as I used to, unless I have to. So the Friday or Saturday night shows have pretty much suspended indefinitely. They're just right now. There's just no interest in those right now. I'm assuming with this pandemic going on, but hopefully in the future. So the best time to catch a live show, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell, the notification bell, and catch me during the day, sometime during the week, hopefully. So I know there's a lot of you who says, man, I miss your show. I never get a chance to come on. I get it. You're overseas, 6 hours, 7, 8 hours away from me in Ohio. And, you know, doing a show at night, which is 3 o'clock in the morning for you, is not the right time. Totally get it. So no more Friday and Saturday night shows for now. We'll try and squeeze in as many as we can during the day. So we're going to take a look at what Lenovo says about what is Linux. Let me go ahead and transition here. Look at this stream here on the YouTube studio. And yeah, it says excellent, so we're in good shape. All right, I'm going to turn down the music here just a bit. Thank you, Stephanie, for the beautiful songs. All right, so let's go to the web page, a shortened web page here, just to get into the main core of what Lenovo thinks. What is Linux? Again, they've done a pretty good job. So let's take a look. All right, so what is Linux? Linux is a free computer operating system authored by a community of open source developers. Linux serves as an alternative to the more well-known Windows OS X. Unlike these mainstream operating systems, Linux is a crowdsourced project that anyone can alter. Technically, Linux is a kernel or the fundamental component of the operating system. You can install this alongside Windows and share the drive, which I've done for many years. Not so much now. I have two separate drives, one for Windows 10, one for Linux, dual booting that way on two separate drives. I think it's faster that way. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the second paragraph here. Linux is based on the earlier Unix system, which used the principle of modular design. In this type of system, the OS provides simple tools, while shell scripting and command language combine to perform complex workflows. Okay, for all the newbies out there, Linux is a kernel. Picture you are on a bridge, okay? The left side of the bridge, you have your software. On the right side of the bridge, you have your hardware. You need something to combine those two. You need a Linux priest to perform the marriage of the hardware and the software. That matrimony, in a way, that marriage is Linux. That's the kernel that combines the software and the hardware. So I hope that kind of breaks it down to what the Linux kernel is. Okay, let's move down to the third paragraph. Linux follows the free and open source software development and distribution model and is available through Linux distributions called distros, or as I sometimes say, distros. Anyway, no purchase is required to use, distribute, or modify Linux. Currently, there are more than 300 modified versions. I think there's more than that. And with new versions continuously being created, some of the most popular distros are from Debian, Red Hat, each of which has their own spin-offs. An example of a Debian spin-off or Debian-based would be Ubuntu, but then there's Ubuntu-based such as Zorin, Linux Mint, and the list goes on and on. Though originally developed as an operating system for specific Intel computers, Linux is now the most frequently ported or uploaded of all the computer software platforms. More than 95%. I think it's almost all of them now, but more than 95% of the world's 500 fastest computers utilize some form of a Linux operating system. Excellent. Next paragraph. Who uses Linux and why? Alright, since its inception, businesses have used Linux extensively on their servers. Linux is used in some corporate environments as a desktop platform for their employees, such as Red Hat Enterprise Linux, SUSE Linux, Enterprise Linux, and Ubuntu, and so on. Additionally, Linux is used for some game consoles, such as PlayStation 3. In 2013, Valve Corporation publicly paired with Linux to run certain ports through Linux, allowing many popular games to be played on the operating system. All right, next paragraph. Linux desktop users are typically those who value an open source operating system and appreciate the speed. I agree. Security? Yep. And user experience of this open source software. Linux may not be the most polished OS, but it's on the cutting edge of innovation. All right, one thing here. Linux, or a Linux-based system, has the potential to be perfectly polished. Chromebook sales this year have shot through the roof. Whether you're buying them from a Lenovo, from them, or Acer, or whatever, Dell, Chromebook sales have shot through the roof. They are an affordable alternative to the more expensive, Windows or Mac computers. Chromebooks are an excellent example of a polished Linux-based system. They are based off of Gentoo. I have one. It's fantastic. I haven't seen any bugs. They are secure. They just work. So Linux may not be the most polished OS. It's partially true, but I'm going to say, maybe, but it certainly has the potential to be perfectly polished. All right, moving on. If there's a security hole, developers usually release an update within the day instead of waiting months for update packages. Linux users receive regular updates as new technology becomes available. I can tell you that the update process in Windows is horrible. I don't like it. It's the worst thing about Windows for me. Windows 10 works, but the update process in Linux is much, much faster, better, less of a headache. With Linux update, I don't have to use more. That's my Motrin. This is what I use for Windows. In fact, when you buy a Windows computer, they should give you a free bottle of aspirin or something. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. What are some popular Linux distributions? Okay, well, they list here Fedora, SUSE, Mandriva, there's Debian, Slackware, Gentoo, Arch. Look, I prefer the ones that are more tailored for the beginners, Windows users, all billion Windows users out there. That's what I do on this channel primarily. And I would pick your Linux Mints, your Zorin, Ubuntu Mate, Peppermint, and the list goes on. The point of all this is, this year, really, for the last 3 years or so, there's a lot of choices out there when it comes to picking an alternative to what you are using now, or picking a possible alternative to what you are using now, whether it's Windows or Mac. I'm not saying it can't completely replace what you have, but you have choices. I can tell you that if you want to choose to download a Linux-based system such as Ubuntu Mate or Linux Mint, ThinkPads and Lenovo, computers, the best, or at least one of the best. I have a 9-year-old Lenovo desktop with the original freaking hard drive. It still runs. It's dual booting. Ubuntu Mate and Windows 10, but it still works. No problems. I have two ThinkPads that rock, that totally rock. And full disclosure, this is not a sponsored video by Lenovo. I bought those machines, with my own money. I use them. I like them. I like what I see. So I guess you could say I'm giving this company a free plug, as it were. I don't mind if it's something that I bought and used. So check out Lenovo. Check out their ThinkPads. The last paragraph here, it's basically, they're saying there's a long line of desktop computers, laptops, and servers feature a number of devices that support the Linux operating system. If you're looking for a laptop, so on, you can go to the Lenovo website. So this here is a perfect example, in my opinion, on their attempt, which they succeed at how to describe, to answer the question, what is Linux? The best way that I can describe this, it's not just for geeks anymore. Maybe back when I started in 06, it was for geeks. In fact, I know it was. In 2010, I started this channel because back then there just wasn't enough good Linux channels, or at least not enough good, informative, unbiased Linux channels for beginners, for Windows users. It was awful. So I'm not a complaint. Well, I complain sometimes, but I thought to myself, instead of complaining, Toss, do something. So I did, and pretty much 99% of what I know has been self-taught. It can be done. It does require some patience. Yes, occasionally some Motrin, some aspirin, but I think you will be pleasantly surprised on the possibilities of Linux. It really isn't just for geeks. Like I said, the explosion of Chromebooks, I think it rocks. And now Lenovo has, I think, 30 different machines based off Ubuntu. Dell is selling them now, some choices. So the list goes on and on. At least try it. You never know. You never know. I've been very happy with my current Linux gold standard is Ubuntu Mate. You may have a different choice or a different opinion. That's fine. Use what works. So that's a look at Lenovo US. What is Linux? Again, not a sponsored video, just something I read. I thought it made sense. So, why not give them a plug? Let me go to the chat and see if anybody's here. We have some people here. Spin Viking is spinning around. Hello. Sergey, my favorite Ubuntu Mate guy. He likes Slackware. Hey, I like Gentoo too. Gentoo, to-do. Just look at Chromebooks. Ba-da-bum. Hi, Tom. You are not the only one on. Tom has two Lenovo ThinkPads. So do I. What a coincidence. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, the one ThinkPad, Tom, originally had Windows XP. That's what I said. Originally, Windows XP, it's just a dual core, 2 gigs of RAM. I have Debian-based Q4 OS. It's slow, but it still works. Hey, what can I tell you? It's a ThinkPad. ThinkPads are like Toyotas. They just keep going and going and going. They seldom break down. So, one day I'll probably have to, or sell it or recycle it, but it works. So, awesome. You have two ThinkPads. And then the other one has Windows 10 and Linux Mint, Cinnamon, I think. Yeah, I think that's what. I don't use them as much. I usually use either my desktops or my Chromebook, but yeah, cool. So you dual boot Windows 10 and Peppermint 10. Okay, on both. Cool. Peppermint is good. Great for beginners. Spin says, but your 10-year-old HP G62 still works fine, except the battery's long fried. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. You can get new batteries. If you search on Amazon, battery prices aren't that expensive. I picked one up for $20-some. Just a basic 2-hour battery for that one ThinkPad. Like I said, that stays in my garage if I'm working on the car or washing it or cleaning just to play music. It has stereo speakers on it, so that's why I still use it. If not, I'm using my Chromebook. So you have a R500 that is dual core and it runs fine. Yeah. The machines I have are 32-bit. I wish they were 64-bit. So I'm not sure how much longer I can squeeze usage out of them. But they work. They're super clean. I keep them clean. So very, very happy with ThinkPads. So like I said, if you're in the market to try Linux but want less of a headache, just buy yourself a refurbished ThinkPad, on Amazon or whatever. $200 should be enough, and download something easy like Ubuntu Mate or Zorn. I like Zorn Lite or Linux Mint Mate and go from there. And you should be in pretty good shape. So, All right, so that's it for the topic on what is Linux. I'll stick around for a little bit longer. What is it, 4:15 here locally? I'm probably going to have dinner here in about a half hour, around 5 o'clock. So I'll stick around for this podcast. Again, if there's anybody new that doesn't normally get a chance to say hello, please do say hi, because I mentally keep track of who comes on that doesn't normally come on to say hello. That's why I'm doing these more during the day and pretty much very little at night. So please do say hello if you are new to all this. Once again, the background music from our friend Stephanie Forian. You upgraded the newer one. It was an i3 originally. Okay. Yeah, if I buy another laptop, it's probably going to be another Chromebook. Less maintenance. Yeah. Maybe one of these days we'll talk about why Chromebooks don't get malware or viruses. But yeah, if I do buy another machine, it'll probably be a faster desktop, so I can render videos faster. It takes me a 10-minute video. Takes about 5-6 minutes to render. It's okay, but that's for nowadays that's slow. But yeah, that'll be my next investment when I can. So go ahead and get out of that web page. I don't need that anymore. Okay, very good. Online sales this year have skyrocketed, which is to be expected, and I'm sure some of those sales include computers, laptops, iPads. Yeah, Serge, what does Linux do? Could you give me an explanation? Yes, this is Linux. There you go. That's my explanation of Linux. Bada boom. You can get a new battery for your Dell for $27. Low spec Linux laptop says. Okay, cool. Yeah, excellent. I like Chromebooks because the batteries that come with them can last you 10 to 12 hours. For a machine that's $200. Hey, forget about it. The best out there. You want to buy a Linux machine, you buy a Chromebook, as we say in New York, I think. Yeah, $27 is perfectly reasonable. Yeah. It's probably a standard length or a standard 2-hour battery. That's perfectly fine. So why not? Yeah. Linux equals high speed and low drag. Yes, Linux is very aerodynamic. The way it's shaped and it runs. I totally agree. Hi, Tom. Tom says, set up a Discord channel. I do have a Discord channel. Yes, I do. You didn't know Coca-Cola OS was on a Linux distro. Oh, there's a Coca-Cola OS? Cool. Tom, I do have a Discord channel. I don't use it as much as I used to, but yeah, I do. So look me up on Discord. Occasionally I will pop in and post a few non-techie things on there just for laughs. But Tom, I do have a Discord channel. So yeah. And today I'm actually drinking 7-Up at the Uncola. Search. Yes. Coca-Cola OS, what would it have? Well, a lot of caffeine-based apps probably, right? Mustafa is in the house. Hello. Most CFD aerodynamics software is on Linux. Mustafa, what is CFD aerodynamics, sir? I do not know what that is, but it sounds intriguing. Tom, if you want to join us on a Discord, you could, if you want to send me an email, just remind me, and I'll send you an invitation. But yeah, I jump on here and there, during the week for a few minutes. Computational fluid dynamics. That sounds interesting. Awesome. Well, like I said, practically all the world's fastest supercomputers run the form of Linux. So awesome. Peabody is in the house. Welcome. Yeah, sometimes on Discord I'll post like a joke or some funny videos. I have on my list here to do my top 5 Linux channels for 2020. One of them is a comedy channel. Comedy guy from New York has a unique way of talking, but that's on my list to do. So, and sometimes I'll post some of his videos on Discord if you want a preview. Rohale, the computer guy, says, "Why is it just a black screen with void?" This is mainly a podcast. Yeah, I don't have my webcam set up. This is just a podcast format, so you guys know what I look like, my handsome Italian self, Ubuntu Mate self. You know what I look like. But welcome to the podcast. But yeah, I mean, this channel, like in the first few years, I didn't use a webcam. And then some of you were saying, "Come on, Toss, show us who you are." And anyway, that's all changed. But yeah, I'm just chilling, with the headset mic. So anyway, does NASA use Linux? I believe they use Linux on the space station versus Windows, don't they? I think they do, yeah. Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere. Of course, they're Tai. What else? Tai. I think most people would be shocked if we told them, "Hey, you know that new Chromebook? Yeah, well, it uses a form of Linux." What? Yeah, it's form of Linux. You know your Samsung? Yeah, it's a form of Linux. Huh? I bet you they would be shocked. You tell them, "Hey, that's a form of Linux." I bet you they would give you that look like. So, Tom, gotta run to make dinner. Awesome. Invite me next time. All right, Tom, catch you later. Nice chatting with you. I'm gonna have my dinner here shortly. I don't know what I'm gonna have. Maybe some raviolis. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping by, Tom. Arrivederci. Yeah, I'm actually starting to get hungry, so let's give this a 10-minute warning and we'll wrap it up. How does that sound? Again, if there's anybody new for this live podcast, say hello. Hello, baby, hello. If you would like to support the channel or sponsor a live show, check me out on Patreon. You can search TOS Today, or you can contribute through PayPal, paypal.me/TOS Today, or send me an email at talktotalos@gmail.com. Spin says, yes, we are so used to Linux speed efficiency. When I got my Acer laptop with Windows, I was so frustrated with that. After about a week, install Linux. Yeah, I have an Acer I have a Chromebook Acer Spin, and it rocks. It's it's wonderful because I don't have to, there's no bugs. I don't have to solve a bug or find a solution or use the terminal. It's awesome. And I'm probably not the only consumer saying that. So that's where we are at. Peabody asks, any updates on my dad's movie? Well, as you can probably guess, this has been a horrible year for the entertainment business with this pandemic. My dad and I, in fact, we just chatted today, Peabody, about 3 hours ago. We are probably going to release a single, the theme from the movie. Don't know when. You'll be able to purchase it. Probably going to release it first. Bandcamp. I can't release it for free because we still haven't gotten paid for the project. He hasn't gotten paid for the project. It hasn't been released or sold. So the movie right now is going nowhere, but I think we will release a song or two, part of the soundtrack, for you guys to check out and download if you wish. But right now it appears that that's the best we can do. It's draining. It's physically, emotionally, and financially draining. That's probably true of any movie project. Probably more so for an independent film that my dad produced. Anyway, we're still here. We're alive. We're healthy. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it's tough to work on a project now for 8-9 years and still not be paid for it. But that is the nature of the business. So hopefully one day we'll get paid. But Peabody, thank you for asking. I'm glad you remembered. Awesome. But I will keep you guys posted. So thank you. Thank you for asking. So we'll see. I'm just chilling to Stephanie's music here. Wonderful voice. Some of you have asked. Stephanie's okay. She is back in the States from Germany, back home with her friends up in Boston area, and she is safe and sound. So yeah, she's okay. We just extended a few brief messages. So I don't know if she'll be on again. I really don't want to bother her too much. I'm sure she's catching up with her family, and after being away from the States almost all year. So yeah, it would be nice to have her back for another concert. It would be awesome. We could all use some love, some more harmony this crazy year. So yeah. All right, 5-minute warning, and we'll wrap this up so I can start cooking my dinner. Kind of, it's awful not feeling safe going to restaurants or eating out anymore. I just don't want to catch the damn thing. I've had friends who've caught it, COVID. It's bad. So. If you guys have any ideas, suggestions for some of the best YouTube channels, and let's make it non-Linuxy. Let's go outside the box. If you have any suggestions for some of your favorite YouTube channels that are not Linux based, let me know. Maybe I'll mention that in a future comment or a future podcast or video. Just out of curiosity, if you want to post them in the comments below, please let me know. I already have my top 5 picks, and I'll mention that sometime in the future. I need to clean up this desk office here. I don't get motivated that much in the wintertime, because I'm so used to going out, walking, tennis, swimming, and I feel like a bear in hibernation, in the wintertime. Yeah. So. All right. Well, is there anything else? It looks like a few of you are dropping off and do what you got to do, have your dinner or whatever, and that's cool. So anything else? Last call here for comments or questions, and we'll wrap it up. I'll run upstairs and start with my dinner. Maybe I should call for Chinese. Chicken on a stick sounds good. Nah, I'll just go cheese ravioli. I want Italian. Okay, it looks like that's it for the comments for today. Thank you so much for stopping by to say hello. I think we had one or two people pop in. I don't normally see the names. Awesome. That's what I do these live shows during the day for, so great to have you here. If you have any questions or anything, you guys know how to reach me. Post a comment below, and I'll catch you on the next one. So for this, I'll just say arrivederci. Ciao.